Good morning, guys. Little bit of a headache this morning, guys and gals. Not leaving anybody out here. But yeah, I got a little bit of a headache this morning. The other morning, it was really bad. I don't get them as often anymore when I'm on a low-carb diet for some reason. Thank God. But when I do, it's in the morning. And I don't know if it's because of the way that I sleep or whatever, but I gotta tell you about a crazy, stupid dream I had last night. Worst night of sleep I've had in a long time. I've told you before I have these crazy dreams, and this wasn't the worst one I've ever had, but it still kept me up all night. I was up probably, 4, maybe even 5 times. And of course, every time I go back to sleep, the whole dream starts over, or at least it picks up where it left off. So, let me get my coffee out here, and then we'll sit down and I'll tell you about it. It's so stupid. So good. God, I love coffee. Get my blankie on because it's a little chilly this morning. Okay, so this stupid dream. I didn't know any of the people in this dream, so I don't know where it ever originated or anything like that. There was a guy in this dream with me, and somehow he and I entered into like a business arrangement, a business deal, where I was the creative part of the business, and for some reason he just was the boss. I don't know why. I mean, I would never just enter into an agreement with somebody 50-50 and be like, you're the boss, you tell me exactly what to do. But for some reason, that's what it was in this dream. He just took it upon himself to be the boss, and he immediately hired like a bunch of heavies, like a bunch of bullies, these guys who would walk around and they would basically bully you into doing your job constantly. So these guys were always breathing down your neck. You were always scared to death of, where they were, if they were watching you, what was going to happen. And whatever this company was that we created, it was something like we were making movies or short films or something. This was taking place out in the middle of like Colorado or something, because the house that we were at was like a big, expensive house, although I only saw part of it, but it was obvious to me that it was a big, expensive house. And we were surrounded by mountains. And then there were like small houses that were built along the side of these mountains going all the way up. For some reason, all those houses were black. I don't know why black or like real dark. But I mean, it was beautiful scenery, aside from that. I just remember there was a fence, and there was like a little building that I kept hiding behind anytime that I wanted a break or to get away from any of these guys, because they were always scouting out to see where you were at. And over the course of the night, I said I woke up several times, and every time I went back to bed, it picked up right where it left off the last time. And it was obvious that this had taken years in the dream, because there was like an entryway that had a big board or a wall that had all these things that we had accomplished, little movies and shorts and films and that. And at the beginning of the dream, there were only like 2. And then, of course, towards the end, there was just a whole wall of these things. Little, like, mini posters or something, I don't know. But I remember one of the bullies looked exactly like that Tony Little guy, the guy that gets on the gazelle and he's like, you can do it! But he was big, and he was scary and stocky and muscular, and he always walked around with something in his hand like it was like some kind of weapon. Even if it wasn't really a weapon, it was something that was to be taken like a weapon, like he was a bully. And everybody that was working there, it was up to him and, a handful of other guys to keep us in line and keep us creating. And every time he saw me, he would say something like, so what was your idea with the... And he would say some word. And there was never any idea with that specific word, but that was his way of bullying me into coming up with another idea on the spot. And, me being fearful of him, I would say, oh, well, yeah, it was, and I'd come up with something on the spot. It sounds so stupid, telling you about it, but when you're living the dream, or when you're dreaming the dream, it feels so real, and it's kind of scary, And I just remember towards the end of the dream, I was standing in the doorway, looking out the front door at all those houses that were built along the side of the mountain. And it really was, like I said, it really was beautiful scenery. And so I was just standing there looking at it, and that Tony Little looking guy was standing there in the doorway with me, and he had a long wooden spoon that he kept rapping me on the knuckles with and hitting my hands. My hands were behind my back as I was kind of leaning on the door frame, and he was, rapping me in the knuckles with that thing, just kind of egging me on, like letting me know he still was in charge and I needed to get my ass moving. And I reached down and I grabbed the spoon and I ripped it out of his hand, and I just kind of gave him this look like, I've had about enough of this. And then I think I woke up and I didn't go back to sleep at that point. If I did, I don't remember what else. Oh, no. I do remember what happened. Okay, I did go back to sleep because... So I remember I went back to sleep, and for the rest of the dream, over time, I had been stashing money away and buying little bits of stock in the company over time, to where at this point, I now finally had like 53% of the company. And so I called a meeting, and these guys didn't realize it yet. None of the people knew it yet. But I called a meeting just as if I was going to present them with another creative idea. And I got all those guys in there, and I started to present it like it was another creative idea. And then I basically said, so, imagine this, you guys are fired. And... It sounds so stupid, but it was something like that. You guys are fired, and then I had my own team of guys, dressed in the black suits and black sunglasses and that, come in and take all of them and get them out of there. And because I now owned 53% of the company, which I had worked all these years at secretly building up that stock so that I could get them out of there, and I would be the one that would come out ahead instead of like having to walk away to get away from all them, and I would walk away from all that money and whatever company I had built and that. So, what a stupid dream. So stupid. I need a drink of my coffee. But yeah, man, what a stupid dream. And that's like, I've told you before, I have these dumb dreams. And it's not on a constant basis. I do have stupid dreams all the time. They're not always that dumb. But once in a while, one will creep in there that just makes no sense whatsoever. And last night was one of those nights. It was just such a horrible night's sleep. When I got up, my back hurt and my head hurt. My God. So with that in mind... I could let that drag me down and ruin my whole day, but I'm not going to. Because the first good thing about this day is that I woke up and it was not real. The second good thing is I have my delicious coffee in my Pappy Cup. So, I do have a handful of things I need to get done today. I know I say that every morning, but it's true. My days are always packed. Just ask Wally. We've been trying to get together to film together for months. And I'm always like, man, I can't. I got this to do, that to do, this to do, that to do. And but the good news is it's coming up. We're making plans right now. I've been making a list of places we can go together and just kind of knock out a bunch of videos in one day. And it ought to be a lot of good fun. I need it, man. I need a good day out with a friend. And so that's what it's going to be. So you guys have that to look forward to. So other than that, guys, wherever you're waking up, whatever time it is, make the best of your day. Do something for somebody else. Pay it forward. And let's make this world a better place. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.